Hey, everybody. Welcome to Odd and Untold, the podcast where we talk about all things strange and spooky. Merry Christmas, everybody. We are at Christmas Eve here, and joining me once again is my buddy John. We're going to be talking about some Christmas horror movies. We got three movies coming up tonight, and we, we have some thoughts, and John and I don't necessarily agree on all the movies this time.
Yeah,
I feel
and
like
that
we
happens.
sometimes it happens, yeah. And you were joining us this time from above the Arctic Circle by the Northern Lights there, where it is eternal nighttime.
And I gotta tell you, it's pretty cold.
Yeah, you look chilly. You should put a hat on or something.
Yeah, I have one somewhere around here. It is
I,
rather cold.
yeah, you'll be all right.
But thank you again for having me on.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. I know you've been really busy and you've come down with a cold recently, so we
Yeah, I
weren't
was
even
thinking. Sorry, I was thinking
that.
about the times that I've been on the show,
Mm.
and I'm often sick, unless it's the summertime. But like flu season, I usually have something going on.
Yeah, and my sick period is usually like after Christmas. That's usually when I nosedive. Like I know you've always been kind of like late fall, October, November, December you
Yeah,
get sick, but for me it's like
before.
I get to Christmas and then that's usually like flu hits me or I get like really bad upper respiratory infection and yeah,
Yeah,
not a good time of year for us.
no. Uh, January about 3 years ago, I did have pneumonia. That was terrible.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yeah. So, I mean, right now it's just a cold that I'm getting over, so it's not terrible.
All right, well that's good. But yeah, so I appreciate you joining me nonetheless because a little iffy if this episode was even going to happen. So
It was.
uh,
I
yeah,
I texted you yesterday and I said I wasn't sure.
yeah.
But thankfully I got some rest, so I'm feeling better now.
All right, cool. So this will be a little bit shorter. I think we're only doing three movies this episode.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, this is the fourth time we're doing this, which is kind of amazing in itself. And usually we have a whole bunch of movies, but um, I want to say that we've done some really good movies in the past, and I don't know that these are really good movies. So one of my
well,
favorites, of course, is Gremlins,
oh
which
yeah,
is backwards. You can't really see it. Krampus is amazing. And you wanted to talk about Krampus. I'm like, we did that 4 years ago.
yeah. See, I can't even remember what we did anymore. I'm just like I thought we had just mentioned it on one of the episodes. That's why I was like, oh, we got to get to Krampus, and then, no, we did it. So
Yeah, but I haven't seen that episode in a long time. Maybe we just didn't mention it and not talk about it too much, but I think we did.
yeah, I have to go back and actually check them, but yeah. So this is volume three of Christmas horror movies, but we also did Christmas movies of a spooky kind, which were not necessarily horror movies. They were more dealing with ghosts, like A Christmas Carol and It's a Wonderful Life and things like that, where there's some
Yeah,
sort of supernatural element to them, but they're not necessarily horror movies. So this is the third Christmas special we're doing about horror movies, but
yeah, that
the
are actual horror
fourth,
movies.
right, but the fourth Christmas movie episode overall. So and yeah,
Oh, but
there are a ton of. I mean, there's still a lot more. Like there were more I could have. I mean, I picked these movies this week. I don't know why they just kind of popped up, and I said, "Oh, these sound pretty good. We haven't hit these yet." And but there's a lot more, so we can
there's
keep
so
doing
many.
these. It's not like
Yeah.
Thanksgiving where like we
Oh
we we,
God.
we did that episode and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
um,
Um, it's doing better than the first time we did it though. So
yeah, we did the re-edit,
okay.
and yeah, it's doing a little better. But yeah, as far as Thanksgiving horror movies, there's not a huge amount, but Christmas horror movies there's a lot. There's a lot
Oh,
to
there's
touch on.
so many. So thank you for picking these. I actually hadn't seen any of them before yesterday. So I started watching them. Since I was sick, I was just like on my couch watching movies, trying to feel better.
And that's another first for these because usually when we do these episodes, you've seen most, at least all of the movies prior to me.
Yeah,
Um, and there's some outliers that maybe I hadn't seen or I hadn't seen in years, but you're usually the
right.
expert on them because you've seen them and you usually pick them. And this year I just kind of picked three at random and just said, hey, let's check these out. And yeah, so we can get into that. And like I said, we have some thoughts and
Yeah.
and it's interesting because we didn't grow up with these. You know, a lot of the movies we've done in
No.
the past episodes, whatever the theme was, whether it was Christmas or Fourth of July or Thanksgiving, we'd seen them before. So we
Hmm.
grew up with them, and we're kind of revisiting them. And these we're just kind of seeing for the first time
Yeah,
as
I mean,
adults.
especially A Christmas Carol. We've
Hmm.
seen that how many countless times, and how many different versions of that have we seen? And Gremlins, I saw back in 1984 when it came out.
Hmm.
So, I mean, some of them had been with us for a long, long time. All of these are brand new.
Yeah.
Uh, I think we were 30 when the first one came out, or 31, somewhere around there, where the first one came out. So we were adults. We have no connections at all to these films.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of cool,
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like,
watching brand new stuff.
yeah, fresh eyes and no nostalgia, just
Yeah, no,
going into them fresh. And yeah.
for
So
better or worse,
for better or for
as they
worse.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right.
yeah, so let's jump in.
Okay. Like you said, there's three of them, and I thought we would just go in order of release. So the first one is Santa's Sleigh, and that was because everybody loves a good pun. And that was released on December 20th, 2005. And it's super short. It's an hour and 18 minutes, um, for whatever that means, whatever that says. And I'm really glad that you picked this because I know that you're a big fan of wrestling. And I never have been. I mean, I get it, but it was just never really my thing. But then I was reading about it in this Bill Goldberg.
Hmm.
Were you familiar with him as a wrestler?
Oh yeah, because when he was in WCW, he was on this, like, he came up as an amateur. He was like a nobody, and he came
Yeah,
in and they gave him this winning streak, and he was just tearing through the roster, and he rose to like superstardom like
'cause
really quickly.
because he's huge
He's huge.
and scary. I
Yeah.
mean, and if for anyone who hasn't seen this movie, he plays a demonic Santa Claus, let's say. So to see somebody in that role, that big, that imposing, is basically terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and yeah, he was in WCW. He went to WWE, WWF for those of us who grew up with it when it was WWF.
Yeah, I was
Um,
looking at that. He's like he had a long, long career.
Long career. Yeah, he's very well known. And I was probably following wrestling back when this movie was made. And I probably, and they do a lacrosse promotion, because God
Yeah,
forbid you don't talk about every single project you're doing while you're on TV.
right.
So I kind of have this vague memory of him promoting this, and the wrestling programs promoting this. So, Santa Slay and Bill Goldberg. And of course, when he was a wrestler, he was just Goldberg. He just had that name, Goldberg. Um, but yeah, I'd never seen it. And, I saw this and I was like, oh, I'll throw this on the list this year. This looks interesting.
So what did you
And
think? Did you like it? Did you think he was good in the role?
I did. I mean, and again, like you said, he's a demonic Santa. I guess he had lost a bet with an angel, and he had to be good for, like, was it like the last 1,000 years? He
The
had to
last
like
1,000 years.
he had to spread cheer and bring presents to kids, and then
Even though, can we say who he actually was? I think we could say who he
yeah,
was.
yeah,
He was the son of the devil.
right. Santa, Satan.
Say,
Yeah, it's just
spelling, whatever.
spelling. Yeah, they got it wrong on the birth certificate.
Yeah,
Typo.
no big deal. Um, I have to, for a movie that is just brutally violent, for the sake of being brutally violent, it's actually a lot of fun. And I really appreciated the myth building in all of this. It's like you didn't have to do that, as a filmmaker. Um, but they always recommend, world building and
World
stuff like
building.
that.
Yeah.
But the mythology of it, and the artistry that they did with the book, and at the opening credits, they did so many things. It's like, wow, this is kind of classy for such a trashy movie.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's Santa's sleigh, Slay, because he's
Right.
slaying people, and it's just an excuse for Bill Goldberg to kill people
Yeah.
in
Be
various creative Christmas themed ways. Icicles and candy canes, and uh, a menorah comes into play at one point
Yeah.
because
You know, I always thought that those candy canes, the sharpened ones,
Hmm.
when they always seem dangerous to me. It's
Oh
like a
yeah.
shiv. And he proves that they are actually dangerous.
Yes. Yeah. And it's just the murders themselves are pretty gruesome. Uh, and it's for a horror movie, it looks like a Hallmark movie. It's very brightly
Oh
lit.
yeah.
It looks like a
Decor
made for
it's
TV movie, and I'm not knocking it for that. It just doesn't have that dark, sinister horror movie vibe. It's just very
yeah.
bright.
That's
And
Krampus. Krampus is dark.
yeah, and
This
one of
movie
the other
is
movies,
bright.
yeah, and one of the other movies we'll get to is very dark, but this
Yeah.
one is just like brightly lit. You see everything in just like broad daylight. Like there's no hiding
Yeah.
anything. Uh,
There's
like
no
I said,
storms, whether rain or snowstorms. It takes place mostly during the day.
yeah, yeah, and it's just
Lots
if
of
you didn't know what you were watching
decorations.
and you were just walking through the living room and somebody had this on, you'd think it was a Hallmark movie. You'd think this was
Yeah.
just some made for TV, feel good Christmas movie, and then Santa comes and kills somebody.
Right. Until that
Until that
happens.
point, yeah,
Right. You're like, oh, it's Christmas, right? Hallmark, whatever. And then you're like, oh my God, what did Santa just do?
yeah. Um, the opening, the opening scene, I thought I had the wrong movie on.
I didn't know what was happening because, like I
Uh,
said, I'd never seen this movie. I just started watching it. It's like, oh man, we're gonna do the show. I have to watch these movies. So I
right,
sat down and I'm like, what am I looking at?
yeah, and it's Fran Drescher.
Who
Uh,
looks
oh
beautiful
my
and
God, she
amazing,
looks
and
so good in this.
she's so funny, like she always is. I mean, what a wonderful actor she is.
Yeah, Chris Kattan from SNL,
Right. Do you know
Saturday Night Live.
that he did the remake of House on Haunted Hill?
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, in 1999. So I
Really?
mean, he actually has some like horror cred.
Yeah, I
Some. I mean, I like that film. I like the remake, and a
yeah.
lot of people don't. But I think he was actually pretty good in that movie. So
Hmm. So
yeah,
I'm watching, and it's Fran Drescher, Chris Kattan, uh, Rebecca Gayheart.
she's in it, right?
She's in it, and she's kind of like from our youth, like the 90210 days. You know, she was kind of in those shows, Melrose Place era.
Yeah.
I forget what show she was in, but it was like those like a show adjacent to one of those shows. But
What
she
is
was,
it? It's like, yeah, I'm not sure either. But she also has horror cred, because she was in Scream 2,
mhm,
which I remember at the time. This might be sacrilegious, but seeing Scream 2 at the time, I thought it was better than the first one.
mhm.
So she was in that. What else was she in? She was also in Urban Legend, which I really like.
Oh yeah,
So she's been in some good horror movies.
and then a surprising appearance,
Uncredited.
uncredited, James
And
Caan.
man, when I saw him, I just started laughing and I was happy. This was released 2 years after Elf. So James Caan, he's done Godfather. He did a wonderful Michael Mann movie called Thief. He's done so many really good movies. And then he does Elf, because his popularity had sort of waned. And then with Elf, he came back. And then
Mhm.
he's not credited. He's at the beginning of this movie. And it's like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah, this is why I was like, this can't be the real movie because that's James
Yeah.
Caan, Fran Drescher, and they're just having Christmas dinner. And I'm like, did I click
Yeah.
on the wrong? Because sometimes you click on the wrong movie. You're in the app
Chris
and you're like,
Kattan. Yeah.
and and then
Right.
yeah, like Bill Goldberg comes down the chimney and chaos ensues. And
Yeah.
yeah, if you ever wanted to see a professional wrestler kill Sonny Corleone in a very
Yeah.
Christmassy way, this is
Hmm.
the film for you.
This is it. Yeah.
And it's not a spoiler because it's literally this is how the movie opens.
Oh yeah. I
Uh,
don't think it lasts more than 3, 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes tops. It's
yeah,
short. And then the rest of the movie happens,
yeah,
which is equally funny and irreverent. I mean, this movie knows what it is. I mean, it's just putting it all out there. It's going to be violent and over the top. I don't think it's trying to offend anybody. It's just doing what it does. And I think it was really enjoyable. I mean, it did it very well.
yeah. And I mean, it's a little offensive in some parts from
Yeah,
today's standards, which is funny
yeah,
because it
some more
was
than others. Yeah,
yeah, but I think equally offensive. It's not like mean-spirited offensive. I think it's just, people today are just so sensitive to everything, and this just kind of takes it, to be funny. And like I said, there's death by menorah, so there's
Yeah,
like they bring Jewish people into it, and Bill Goldberg, you have a Jew
yeah,
playing Santa Claus.
yeah.
So
I mean, that was actually the joke, the inside joke that they had, that most of the actors are Jewish,
mhm,
and they're playing Christian people celebrating Christmas.
right.
So they had a little fun with it.
Yeah.
So now, if you don't know that, then I think you're a little bit more perhaps prone to be offended by it. But it was a joke that they were in on, and they were happy to be doing it, which does make me feel better, honestly.
Yeah, and it's like I said, none of it's like mean-spirited. It's just
Yeah, no, I don't think
we
so.
we live in a day and age where you just can't make fun of anybody or anything, or and without offending somebody. And it's just like, just laugh at it. It's this stupid evil Santa movie.
Yeah.
um
So I mean, having said that, it was like what was that Killer Turkey movie that we talked about?
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Oh my God. Um, it's kind of like that, but actually not as bad, because Thanksgiving pulled no punches and it was just trashy and offensive and whatever. This actually was a good movie. It was well done. It was well put together.
For what it is, yeah. Like it's not
Yeah,
it's,
of
yeah, it's not going to
course.
win any Academy
No,
Awards,
no,
but
no,
but
no.
I
That's
think,
not what I meant. For what it is.
for somebody to sit down and say, hey, I want to make a Santa Claus serial killer movie, and it's going to be funny and quirky and have lots of bad puns.
Right.
They did it, and they did it successfully. And it's like you said, it's short, so it doesn't overstay its welcome. It just kind of
No.
comes in, it does what it has to do, and then it's over. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that was fun.
And Goldberg, speaking of Goldberg is very much like Freddy Krueger in this,
Hmm.
because the way that he says his lines is just really funny, firmly tongue in cheek, um, entertaining for
Yeah,
what
and
it
I mean,
is.
he basically plays himself. He's just
Yeah, I don't know that.
yeah, he's just a
Uh,
wrestler. He's just
yeah,
like over the top, uh, bad jokes. Insulting people as he's killing them, and or as he's going after them, and it's just he's like being a wrestler just dressed as Santa.
right.
And there's some like wrestling moves. You can definitely tell they let him body slam a person, and like
Yeah.
uh so yeah, just overall just a very fun, enjoyable Christmas horror movie, I think. Robert Culp was in it.
Oh, yeah, we
um
have to talk about the main cast.
yeah.
I love Robert Culp. I knew him from The Greatest American Hero,
Hmm.
like when we were kids. Um, and he is just wonderful in this role. I was so happy to see him, because this time he was kind of old,
Hmm.
but he still had his chops. And he lends so much heart. The whole cast does, the main cast, him, Emily DeRaven, and the lead male, Douglas Smith. They're all so good. And that's the hallmark element of it too, because they're just like family friends at Christmas time. It's not perfect, but it's really wholesome until you get all the violence.
Right.
And then it's like, oh my God, it's kind of jarring, but it's meant to be played for laughs.
Yeah, and it's got heart. It's got, and like you said, they put their all into this without being hammy or over the top, but they're also not phoning it in. Like they took it seriously, and they did a
Yeah.
good job. Saul Rubenstein's in it.
Oh, he was
uh
great.
and he's always, he's always good. um
He's always good. I remember him, the first time I saw him was in some Star Trek The Next Generation episode.
oh yes, my toys, I think it's called.
I don't remember. I just remember he was in it. And it's like, who is this guy? He's really good.
Yeah, he like
Like when
kidnaps
it,
Data. Yeah.
yeah, when it like first came out, like
Hmm.
on TV, I'm watching it, not in reruns or anything. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
who is this guy? So anytime he shows up in a movie, I'm in. He's
Yeah,
good.
he's very good. More of a character actor. I mean, he's not like a leading guy or
Yeah,
anything, but you
right.
see him in a lot of things, and you
Yeah,
recognize him when you see him.
and,
Yeah, I forget the
and
name of that episode. It might just be Toys or My Favorite Toys, something like that. But he like kidnaps Data
yeah,
because he's like a collector of oddities, and
Yeah.
um, I'll put it up on screen after, when I'm editing. Just,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's for my first time experiencing him too, and
Yeah.
very different character in this, obviously, but yeah, overall, just a fun movie. A lot of boobies at one point. They were in a strip club,
Oh my
so
God.
lots
Yeah.
of fake boobage. So if you have young children, maybe not. I mean, you shouldn't be having kids watch people getting murdered. Probably if they're young, the
No,
boobies are
but
lesser offensive. But
I am glad that you mentioned it because this movie is firmly rated R. Uh, this is not for kids. Um, I think you have to be a little bit older and more mature just to understand that it's, you know, that this stuff is not okay.
right,
I mean, um, and there's that satirical element to it, that it's so over the top that, this type of behavior is just not okay.
right, right. Um, so yeah, so I like this one.
Yeah, me too. And it reminded me of a movie that we talked about previously, which was Violent Night.
Oh
Everything's
yeah,
backwards. In that Santa is super, super violent in that one too, but for different reasons.
right.
Um, and that came out, let's see, that came out in 2022. So Santa's Slay really precedes that sort of depiction um, of Santa Claus being sort of like a warrior.
Yes,
Like we
like
get murderous Santas, but they're like some creepy old guy or whatever. We don't get him like really strong and dangerous.
yeah, these are like barbarians. These are like
Yeah,
6.5 foot tall, built, 250 pound muscle men, who are like
yeah,
destroying people
yeah. Just
um
running through them.
effortlessly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
So I think they're related in that way. So if you want to see like really violent Santas, Santa's Sleigh and Violent Night are your films.
oh yeah. Yeah. So uh yeah, so I think that's all we'll say about that one without spoiling it too much. I think we
Yeah,
said
we
a
don't want
lot.
to say too much, right?
Too
I think
much, but
that's
we gotta
enough.
gotta talk about it a little bit though.
Yeah, so if this leads you to watch, if you think, oh no, I can't watch this movie, I just couldn't watch that. That's fine. And if you decide to do it, that's cool too.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yep.
Okay, so we're just gonna go in order of release date. So the next one is All the Creatures Were Stirring, and that was released December 4th, 2018. And there's also another short film. It's an hour and 20 minutes. And it's a Christmas horror comedy done by husband and wife, Rebecca and David Ian McKendry. And it's a frame story with a bunch of little stories in between. And I think some of the stories are better than others.
Yes.
So we could talk about that.
Yeah, I liked this one. Th for me, this one, like you said, it was a little bit uneven. I think some of the stories hit their mark, some of them didn't. Some of them ended too soon for me, and I was like, no, you had a good
Yeah.
thing here, and then you just kind of like, oh, it's over. And then others, it was like, why is this even here? It was kind of pointless. Um,
Yeah, some of them could have been like feature-length movies on their own.
yes, yeah, you can easily make an hour and 20 minute movie out of some of these stories. Um, it reminded me a lot of like Tales from the Dark Side,
Yeah.
Amazing Stories, like those sort of
Yeah.
anthology TV shows.
Yeah.
Not just because they're shorter stories, but I think just even in the way they were filmed, uh, the screenwriting, the dialogue, it just really took me back to like Amazing Stories, Tales from the Dark Side. Uh, and Tales from the Dark Side, I don't know if many people remember that one. It was kind of like locally syndicated. It was a little bit smaller budget than like Amazing Stories had Steven Spielberg behind it,
Yeah, that was
and that was
Amblin,
like on
right?
NBC,
Right.
and Tales from the Dark Side was like your local station affiliate
Right.
syndication.
Wherever you could find it.
Right. But it reminded me of that a lot. So I have a soft spot for this one, even though it's a bit uneven. It's a bit weird. Some of the acting is a little weird. Um, but the premise is basically that this couple has a first date on
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
and they go to this theater to see a play, a very sparse Spartan sort of play. Like three performers.
And I have to
No,
tell you, I'm sorry.
that's okay. Go ahead.
I have to tell you, when I started watching those performances, I immediately thought of you because we have been to shows like that. We both went to a local university here. We won't say which
Yes.
one, but we have seen shows so much like what they're putting on,
Oh yeah.
sparse, and I don't even know
Very
how to describe them.
like avant-garde
Yeah,
art for art's
great.
sake, sort
Yes.
of. They think they're being deeper than they really are being.
Yeah,
um yeah, but just like three performers on a small stage using very minimal props, no costumes.
right.
um the
No
theater
makeup,
reminded me.
nothing.
Yeah, nothing. They're in this little theater that kind of reminded me of the IFC theater in the Village in Manhattan.
Yes.
Just
Good call.
very small, like 12 seats or 15 seats,
Right.
just very tiny, cramped little theater. uh and they put on these six plays, and the plays turn into these little vignettes.
Right.
uh you know
Sort of filling in the blanks of what they can't do. Just three people, no set, on a stage.
right.
And I thought that was actually kind of clever. I was into that. I had no problem with that.
It is, and again, it's an interesting concept. Again, I think the concept is really interesting and ambitious, and
Yeah,
some of the stories.
I've never seen a movie like that before.
Yeah, some of the stories were really good, some of them weren't, and I was a little worried when I first read that it was six stories. I was like, in that like maybe three. I could see three,
Yeah,
because
it's
you
an
get
hour and 20 minutes.
right, because you get a lot of these movies where they do that, like Trilogy of Terror or Cat's Eye,
Yeah,
or these movies where you have like three vignettes, and they're
right.
all kind of interrelated somehow, but
Yeah,
they're all
even like the
separate.
Twilight Zone movie, there were like
Exactly.
three solid ones.
Right, right. But this was six, and I was like,
That's a lot.
it's a lot. And yeah, if we go through them, I gotta
Yeah, the
find my.
first one is called The Stockings Were Hung. And basically that's a super, super awkward office Christmas party. And it kind of looks like The Office. Um, but it's a riff off of um the movie's escaping my name. The name is escaping me now.
uh yeah, I mean, it
Uh
reminded me of like Saw,
Saw,
or
that's it. Thank you.
yeah, just there's an evil killer prankster who's locked these people in an office, and they have to open presents, and each present will either help them or kill them.
Right.
And things go downhill very quickly, as you can imagine. And again, not to spoil it, but that's the basic setup. It's a Christmas party. It's they get locked in this office.
And then
uh
it all happens very quickly because it's only, I don't think any of them, this actually might be one of the longer ones, but they're all obviously because there's six, 15 to 20 minutes long,
mm-hmm.
or even shorter, like 10 to
Yeah,
15, depending on which segment it is, because you still have the frame story. So you have to, it's like, well, what are these two who are on a date? What are they up to?
mm-hmm. Yeah, and this one I feel like could have been extended into a full-length movie. um
I'm
it was an
sure.
interesting premise, and then it just felt rushed to me. Like I was
Yeah.
hooked really early on, and then things escalated way too quickly, and then it was over, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that's an interesting choice, but okay. And I think they could have maybe wrapped it up quickly in a different way.
Yeah.
That would have been more satisfying than the zero satisfaction I felt. uh,
Yeah.
but
I
yeah,
agree.
an interesting premise, and you know I thought it was okay.
I thought the next one actually had the most interesting premise.
Hmm.
That one is called Dash Away All, and I don't even know how to describe this. It has a birthday curse that is surrounding December 25th, and like evil in a van. It's just I don't want to say anything else about it, but
Yeah, so it's just three characters. It's a guy gets locked out of his car in a parking lot. He walks up to this van. There's two women in the van. He's asking them for help. They act very suspiciously, and it uh, ends up badly for him in ways you will not suspect.
No,
Um,
I did not imagine the film going that way. So, you know, give credit where credit is due.
yeah, and again, another really interesting premise that they didn't really have enough time to flesh out
Right.
properly. I mean, you get it, you know, uh, by the end of it, you understand what's happening, but
Mhm.
I do think a little bit more fleshing out would have benefited this story.
Yeah,
Um,
one of the reasons I think that it's that they didn't do that and that it's only an hour and 20 minutes is because Rebecca McKendry was actually 9 months pregnant.
oh wow,
Yeah, and she was due.
yeah,
She
come on, we got to get this movie wrapped up.
right. So it was a little if it feels a little rushed, it was because of circumstances.
Right, right. Um, yeah, but I liked this one to again for what it was.
Yeah. The third one, All Through the House, slash Elf TV, which is just basically a riff off of A Christmas Carol.
Hmm.
Um, how did you feel about this one?
I felt this was the weakest of them. I think
I
just
thought it was
because
to the bottom, yeah, but not the
uh,
weakest.
uh, just I guess for me, just like what were you trying to do with this that was different than the source material? Because
Yeah,
yeah, in essence, this is really just a condensed Christmas Carol.
right.
Um,
How
you
do you
know,
do it
it's
in 10 minutes with
yeah,
basically one character?
right, and make it more horror than redemption arc.
Right.
Um, so yeah, it's a guy who hates Christmas. He's kind of a sleazeball, and he's visited by three ghosts, and at the end of it, he's into Christmas.
Yeah.
And they just didn't do anything really interesting with it. I feel some of the special effects were really cool, and again, it's
Yeah.
like, all right, you have these creatures, and that's what you're wasting them on. Like, uh, there was one cool part of it. I had a smile to myself when he was locked in the bathroom. I wouldn't say any more than that. But there's a moment there where I was like, okay, that is good. Um,
I don't know if it's the same moment, but I also was like, that is cool.
yeah,
So we'll talk about it. No
yeah, we'll talk.
spoilers. We'll talk
Yeah,
about it
no
afterward.
spoilers, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's just because you and I are both just such fans of A Christmas Carol, and like you said
Yeah.
earlier, just different interpretations, and Muppet Christmas Carol or Mickey's Christmas Carol or
Right. I love
Alistair
them too.
Sim.
Yeah. So
Um,
many.
there's so many, and so many of them are good in their own way, and this just seemed pointless to me. Um, it was like, yeah, we just have to shoe in a story that's like Christmas Carol.
Like I appreciate the effort, but when you're trying to adapt a Christmas Carol, it's just the source material. I think you have to do it proper justice. And
Yes,
I don't think justice was served here.
no, not at all, not at all. Yeah, I mean, he's not redeemed. I think in my mind, it's not a redemption arc.
He's scared,
He's yeah. It just
but it's not
yeah.
the
I don't
same
want I don't
thing.
want to I don't want to say too much, but
Yeah.
it follows the beats of A Christmas Carol, but you just don't get the same feeling
No.
at the end. So
Right.
yeah,
That's what it is.
it is what it is.
The fourth one I thought was the weakest, but I thought that you might like it because it's about a killer cryptid. Maybe when I was watching it, it's like, oh, this seems like a killer cryptid. And that was A Rose Such a Clatter.
Yeah, this one's closely tied
Yeah.
for the previous one. I think the previous one just bothered me because it was pointless.
Hmm.
And A Christmas Carol has just been done so many times, so many
Yeah.
better ways.
Sure.
This at least tried to be somewhat original, so I gave it points for that. But this was also a weak point of
Yeah.
the film.
That was a weak entry, I thought.
So basically, yeah, a man is driving home at night. He hits something in the road, and its mate or friend comes to
Right.
enact revenge.
Or coworker,
Co-worker,
maybe.
all of the above,
All of the above.
all of the above. So yeah, it does have that sort of killer cryptid out for revenge sort of thing.
Yeah.
But based in Christmas lore. So
Right.
if you read between the lines, you can maybe figure out what we're talking
Yeah.
about here.
It was certainly interesting.
But again, very weak. I mean, there was just nothing to it
No.
really. It was
Yeah.
again derivative of that whole revenge
Car
trope.
accident. Right.
Car, yeah, I hit something at night. I wasn't paying attention. I ran over it, and then it's coworker slash mate slash friend slash high school buddy comes to enact
Perhaps,
revenge.
perhaps sibling. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, any or all of the above.
Yeah,
Um,
but I mean, we talked about it when we did July 4th horror
mhm,
movies. We I know what you did last summer. I mean, that's the basic premise of that. There's a segment on, I forget which one, but one of the Creepshow movies.
mhm.
They have that. I mean, this it's been done better.
It has, and again, this is another one just kind of felt like, oh, let's do that, but like make it Christmassy. So it's
Right.
not really original in any sort of way.
Sorry.
Oh, there's
Well, I don't know. I don't know what just happened.
a winter squall just came through.
Yeah, I had to duck.
Uh, yeah. So yeah, I might have to agree with you. This one is perhaps the weakest one because it doesn't even
Yeah.
have. It's so quick. Like at least the previous one did have a modicum of like trying to attempt some character backstory or
Right.
development. Like this one, there's just
Yeah,
nothing.
that's completely absent.
Yeah,
And
like you.
probably, I'm sorry,
That's
probably the
okay.
worst special effects, I think.
Yeah, um,
The driving,
yeah. Everything was
that's like,
just
oh God, this is
yeah,
terrible.
yeah. So yeah, I'll move on from this one.
Yeah. I also thought that you might like the next one, which is called In a Tick, sorry, In a Twinkling, which
Hmm.
was very Twilight Zone and Aliens.
Oh yeah,
So I thought you would appreciate this one.
I liked this one. It's bizarre, but in a good way. Um,
It is bizarre.
so and it took a weird turn because I did not expect what was going to happen. But there's the main
Same.
character. Goes home and he's looking out the window. He's looking at the moon,
Right. It's
and
a
he's
full
like,
moon.
it's full moon. He's locking himself in the house. He's got like a
Yeah.
big chain. He's going to chain himself in. His girlfriend wants him to come out for Christmas dinner.
And he
He's like,
won't.
no, I can't go out tonight. You don't understand. I just can't. I can't be around people tonight.
So you think it's going to go in a completely different direction,
Right.
and then it doesn't. We actually did talk about like a werewolf Christmas movie. What was that called?
Oh, that was last year. Yeah, we did talk
Yeah,
about that
just
one.
the Wolf of Snow Hollow,
Yes.
which I just watched a couple weeks ago and really enjoyed it, and I think it's really good. Um, but that was a different episode, so let's
Yeah.
just focus on this one.
Yeah. So then his girlfriend and a couple of other friends come over to surprise him, and he's like freaking out. He's like, "You got to go. You got to go." At one point, she sits outside and she sees a weird light in the sky,
Which we have seen
which
things
we have
like
seen.
that.
And I was thinking of you at this scene because like this is like, is this what John saw at Bantam Lake?
Right.
Um,
I was thinking of you when I was watching it. It's like, oh my God, Jay's gonna love this.
yeah. And the lights turn into like three lights and they're dancing around each other. And then
Yep.
it goes into this very sort of Twilighty Zone uh themed
Aesthetic, let's say.
aesthetic. Yes,
Yeah.
that's yeah.
Let's leave it at that.
Leave it at that. Um, and yeah, and then the girlfriend finds out why he can't hang out on Christmas. Um, but I thought this was a fun. Uh, it was a little break too. Like it wasn't violence and gore. It was scary at points. Because of what it entailed, but it was more innocent and uh, it was just a nice break from the gore
Yeah.
and the
Agreed.
horror.
Yeah.
Because it was more Twilight Zoney, which and Twilight Zone makes you think. It can be scary, but it's not horrific.
Right. The point isn't to scare you, it's to make you think.
Right. And this one accomplished that. And I
Yeah.
thought this was good. And it starred, I forget her name from, she was on Mad Men. She played one of the friends, Stephanie.
Oh, I didn't write it down.
Yeah. Um, I'll throw the name up on screen. I forget.
Yeah.
I thought she was really cute in the role. She did a really good job. Um, and Constance Wu, she plays
Yes,
the girlfriend. So
and she was very good.
she was very good. So yeah, I liked this one. I thought this one was strong, and again, it set out to do what it needed to do in the time frame it had. So I
Right.
think it didn't suffer from that like a lot of the other ones did.
Right, especially the Christmas Carol one, because
Yeah,
that just demands more story.
exactly, exactly.
And this was just completely original, so they could do whatever they wanted to do in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
And they did.
and they did it. And yeah, this one was a good one.
Yeah. And the last segment, To All a Good Night, that's basically just the conclusion of the frame story. And it kind of, well, we want to avoid spoilers. So it does some interesting things, let's just say.
It does. Um, yeah, we can't really talk about it without spoiling it because
Right.
it does wrap up the frame story as you said. So um,
And it's
yeah,
only about
again,
3, 4 minutes, so
yeah,
we really can't say anything about it.
right. Um, this one I do have a soft spot for this one. I think it's just quirky
Oh.
enough to be interesting. It reminds me of Tales from the Dark Side. It reminds me
Mm.
of Amazing Stories. Again, not all the stories landed,
Yeah.
but I think you could do worse than watching this. You know, like just if you just have an hour and a half to blow, and you want some Christmas themed stuff, you could do a lot worse. And I hope the filmmakers continue because
Yeah.
I think there's some sparks there of something good. Like
Yeah,
I think
agreed.
if they do this again and tighten it up a little bit, maybe stick to 3 stories instead of 6, and
Yeah.
expand the good ideas they have, and not shoehorn in just let's just do this because it fits the Christmas theme.
Right.
I think there's maybe something good there.
Yeah, agreed. So we'll see.
All right.
Keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Okay, so the final film that we're going to be talking about today is Christmas Bloody Christmas. This was released December 9th, 2022 on Shudder. And this one's probably it's the longest film that we're going to talk about at an hour and 27 minutes. So there you
I
go.
can't believe this film got made. Uh, we disagree on this one.
We do
Um,
disagree on this one.
and I'll get into why. But yeah, do you want to do the synopsis of this one or?
Yeah, so the premise is really super simple. A robotic Santa Claus goes on a killing spree on Christmas Eve. And immediately that sounded to me like Chopping Mall. I don't know if you've seen Chopping Mall,
No, I'm
but
aware of it, but I haven't seen
yeah,
it.
Chopping Mall is amazing. It's available on Amazon. Go check it out. But again, it's like a robot that goes on a killing spree. It's not Christmas related, but it did remind me of that. So I'm like, oh, great. Let me check it out. So you can start. I mean, like, what were your issues with it?
Uh, so this is a movie about a woman who owns a record store, and one of her employees, and it's Christmas Eve, and they're shutting down the store for the night, and they're trying to figure out their plans for the evening. And yeah, I guess these robotic Santas have been sent out to stores, and they meet up with some friends at a different store that has one of these robotic Santas, and then it goes on this killing spree.
Yeah, and
Uh,
you see a little TV news report saying that they're military grade.
right.
So you're like, oh boy, of course they have to be military grade. And chaos ensues, shall we say.
Yeah, and I think the first thing that really just struck me about this movie is that like every other word is fuck. And
So many curses.
it just
Curses.
yeah, if you took the curse words out of this screenplay, the movie would be like 8 minutes long. Just because you're just
There's a
taking out the
lot.
fuck and fucker and fuck you and motherfucker and fucking shit and fucking hell and fucking.
Oh wait, do you have to like bleep those out?
Nah, we're enough into the we're far enough into the. I think the first 10 minutes you can't say curses on YouTube.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah. I may have to bleep some of them out. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it just came across to me like really bad writing. Like because if you're so focused on the cursing, and I mean they were talking about some certain sex acts that like how did this get into a movie? Like this is like stuff you see in like German porn. Uh, you know, like
It really pushes the limits
it
of
pushed the
what.
limits for,
Yeah.
and I'm no prude, you know, like I'm really
Yeah,
like
no, I know that.
I am
I know
no
that.
prude. Um, but it became like distracting, and for me, I just wanted these characters to die. I was like, just shut up. Like, where's Santa robot to come kill these people and just shut them the fuck up?
It did seem like a different type of movie. Like it seemed like it was going in a different direction. And then they put Santa in there, a robot
Yeah, it
Santa to
just
kill everybody.
uh but that was my biggest gripe, was just so much cursing, and it just didn't need to be there. It felt unnatural. Like, you know, cursing is supposed to be for emphasis, and uh it just felt like this was written by like a 14-year-old boy who just was like, oh, I can curse, you know, and I'm going to curse as much as possible.
Yeah.
um yeah, so I just uh and the characters weren't really likable, you know. I think that's another thing you see in a lot of movies, where it's just like, you know, you're watching a horror movie, you're supposed to want the main characters to live, and I kind of just was like, nah, just kill them already.
So we
uh
won't mention who lives or dies, but
no, but um I will give a compliment, because I feel like I'm kind of crapping all over this movie.
oh, okay.
um
That's
I,
very generous of you.
yeah, and it's kind of a backhanded compliment, you'll see, but I do think the art style, like, you know, the sets, uh there's just like a lot of neon, it's dark, um
Yeah.
it's very stylized, you know,
Yeah.
and I did appreciate that. The issue is, again, it's like they had this good thing and they just did it everywhere, so every place they were at looked the same. So like at the record store, it's like it's dark and there's lots of neon, and then she goes home and it's dark and there's lots of neon, and they go to her friend's store and it's dark with lots of neon, and they go to, you know, the police station and it's dark with lots of, you know, and it's just like,
Yeah. There's
okay,
a very clear Christmas aesthetic
yes,
that
which
is
I
just the same everywhere, which is a little strange.
and I appreciated that. And again, you
Yeah.
talked earlier about world building, and I was trying to like give it that benefit. Like, okay, this is just, you know, it's kind of like a Tim Burton sort of thing, where, you know,
Yeah.
you're in Gotham City and it's just everything kind of looks the same because you're in
That's
Gotham.
another one.
Oh yeah.
The Nightmare Before Christmas. Love that one.
uh yeah, so
Yeah, you're
yeah,
definitely in this town for sure.
yeah, it's got an aesthetic, it's got, and I thought it was really good. I thought the way they handled it, it didn't look cheap, you know, it looked like really well done. Like the art direction, or whatever you call that. I'm not the cinephile here, but
Yeah, art direction, cinematography, um, lighting, the editing, all that stuff is good. I mean, it's a very capable film. It's just whether or not you like the characters or not.
yeah, and I just didn't. um and again, the cursing just, it got to a point where it's like, yeah, if you're going to do a drinking game and you're going to take a drink every time a character says the F word, you're going to die of alcohol poisoning
Yeah,
before the
you'll
first
never
10
make it.
minutes. You'll
Yeah,
never
you'll
make it.
never make it through this
No,
one.
you will die, because it's just, it's in there a lot,
Yeah.
and it just seemed lazy to me, or excessive. I don't know, and maybe I'm being too harsh on it, but because the other movies have cursing in them too, and it's
Yeah.
appropriate. It's, you know,
I thought it was excessive because the two main characters are basically drunk and high the entire time. And sometimes drunk and high people use the F word a lot, excessively.
they do,
Not
and I
that
think,
I don't mean that in any sort of judgmental way or anything. It's just what happens.
no, but they're supposed to be young people. They're supposed to be young, you know, or probably early 20s. You know, they're drunk, they're
Yeah,
high. Um, maybe not the brightest bulbs on the Christmas tree.
but
You know,
very opinionated about everything.
yeah, yeah. So there is that element of realism to it, but at the same time, it was a bit much for me. Like, it was distracting. Like, it was almost just like, shut up, shut up, shut up. Like,
It does go on.
I just
So,
couldn't
the
tune
long
it out
takes.
and enjoy
Yeah.
the movie, you know, because it was just so prevalent. Uh,
Oh, and I really like the music.
Music was good, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it has good points to it, you know. But yeah, I just that bothered me. Uh, it was very Terminator-esque. I mean, this is basically
Oh yeah,
Terminator at Christmas, and there's even
the
some,
Santa Terminator for sure.
yeah, and there's some things lifted directly from the Terminator movies.
For sure. I
Um,
at some point, I forget where, but like, oh, what's her Tori? Tori needs what are the press called?
uh, um, I
Is
forget.
a hydraulic
Hydraulic
press.
press, yes.
That's what Tori needs. I kept on saying that, but there were no hydraulic presses anywhere to be found in this small town. But that's what she
Yeah,
needed.
that's what she needed. And just kind of waiting for Santa to be like, I need a vacation,
Yeah.
because it's just like, are you lifting this directly from, like, you're not even trying to hide it. Like, this is directly from
Oh
Terminator
no.
2, or this is directly from the first Terminator. Um,
And
I
Joe Begos, I don't know how to say his name.
Bigos, yeah.
Yeah, but he admits that. So it's sort of like his Christmas tribute to the Terminator. And
Yeah.
I respect that. That's fine.
And I liked the end, some of the effects they did with the Santa Terminator, like the eyes,
Yeah, I thought that was a cool thing.
that was very visually appealing and
Yeah,
just like very cool, that they didn't do in Terminator, but they do it in
right.
this movie, and it just kind of gives you this, tracking of like where he's looking. And uh yeah, so I mixed feelings on this one. This was probably my least favorite, but just because it was just like listening to her scream and curse and scream. And I think like the last third of this movie is just her screaming incoherently and cursing. And it's like the dialogue just stops, it's just like, all right, we're 2/3 of the way through. Just scream and throw in an F-bomb every now and then, and that's the rest of the script. We just didn't want to write any more dialogue. Um,
Yeah, the first half an hour, there's a lot of
oh,
dialogue,
it's
like
so much talking.
pages and
Yeah,
pages of dialogue. And then the last third, there isn't any.
yeah, yeah. It's just her screaming, and not even in
Yeah.
fear necessarily, just like frustration and uh, at other people for not helping her, at this thing for trying to kill her, at like so yeah, it was an interesting one. Um, yeah, I loved how it looked though. I do like just the
Yeah.
dark, the neon,
Yeah.
very Christmas like.
Does have a great look to it.
Yeah, and just there's a sense of isolation. Like, it's a small town on Christmas Eve, no one's around,
Yeah.
no one's at
Like
the police precinct.
that's what freaks me out about holidays, like emergency services. Like you
Hmm.
really need certain things sometimes.
Yeah,
And God forbid it happens on one of these days and no one's around. And
right.
who can expect it to be around? Everyone has like friends, family,
Yeah,
or
people
they
want
need a
to.
break or whatever.
Right.
But it makes you really feel how vulnerable you are. Like if something bad happens, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
And I thought it was really effective in that way,
yeah,
especially in like a small town. I think they filmed it in Canada or something, like a small town in Canada.
probably. Uh,
So like, what do you do?
yeah, yeah. There was like
You're
what,
screwed.
yeah, there was like three policemen on duty that night.
Yeah.
Um, two of them had mullets and mustaches, so you know,
Yeah.
sounds like Canada. Sorry,
Yeah.
Canadians. Um,
We love
we
Canadians.
love Canadians. Um, yeah, so this one, uh, not for the kiddies, because again, all the cursing. There's
A
some
couple
nudity
of
and
yeah,
sex.
a couple of acts there. This is definitely not for kids.
No,
I would say none of these movies are recommended for kids. Maybe All the Creatures Were Stirring. That's the first one that sort of younger people maybe can watch. But these other two, Santa Sleigh and Christmas Bloody Christmas, definitely not
no, they're
for
rated R
kids.
for a reason, like
Yeah,
17 and older.
yeah, for
Um,
sure. And I would say even older than that.
yeah, because yeah, this one, like I said, it just references stuff. It doesn't show it graphically on screen, but they're talking about things. And there's one scene where the guy's doing something to the girl, and you're just like, how'd that make it into a movie? Like, that's
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was surprised.
yeah.
I was
Um,
surprised.
but then they talk about other things, and it's a little unnecessary.
It is
Uh,
surprising. I do like that they talked about. There was a lot of cultural references. One of the things they were talking about was when a heavy metal band cuts their hair
mhm. Oh yeah,
and the record that they release. right after they cut their hair is usually the worst one. And I appreciated that conversation. Um, it was kind of like, what is worse? What's better? And then I thought that you would like to reference the Blair Witch,
Oh
the
yeah.
original Blair Witch or Book of Shadows.
Hmm.
And she picked Book of Shadows. And I knew Jay's out. He's not gonna that the movie is over for him.
Yeah.
Because we saw Book of Shadows in the movie theater.
Oh yeah. And I
And
don't even remember it. It was just like, nope, I'm not.
yeah,
I don't
just
want to remember this. Just
right. You
I
just put
need.
it out of your
Yeah,
mind.
I need the brain
Same.
cells for something else. Um,
So
yeah. So it again, not without its charms. Wasn't my favorite. I know you like this
yeah.
one a lot. I had my qualms with it, but I enjoyed parts of it. I enjoyed aspects of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that conversation was cool about the metal bands cutting their hair, and
Yeah. I thought that was cool.
yeah, I thought of you during that as well.
Yeah.
Just because we've had that discussion. Like,
Yeah.
um,
So I wouldn't say that this none of these are great movies.
no,
And they're definitely not for children.
no,
Uh there has to be some level of maturity in understanding that these a lot of the things that are happening on screen are not okay. And take it for what it is. But they definitely were all entertaining.
yes, these are
And
like good if you're the type of person who likes like so bad it's good type
yeah,
films.
yeah,
Like I grew
definitely
up with Mystery Science Theater 3000, and
right,
I love. I mean, even if it's not on that show, I just love bad movies.
right,
Because there's a certain charm to them. Like I said, they're not going to win Academy Awards, but if they're entertaining, that's all I care about. Not everything has to be Citizen Kane, or
right,
Schindler's List. It's like
right.
these are just popcorn movies. Uh, if you love horror and you love Christmas, like pop them in. They're good. Like I don't think you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're not having such a great day
Yeah.
and such a great holiday season. Put one of these in. It might make you feel better. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
All
So
right.
that's my thoughts on that. But yeah, one of the few times we've disagreed on a film
Well,
like that.
I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess we do disagree. But I do like the craft of filmmaking,
Hmm.
and I believe this one had a lot of craft. And sometimes people say that about Ridley Scott, which I don't think is true, that he has more style than substance. I don't think that's true at all. And I think, would you feel that this film has more style than substance?
Uh, it's got a lot of style. Again, this is another one where I think uh, some more editing would have benefited the movie. Uh, Again, because for me, the dialogue just takes me out of it. And I think if the dialogue had been toned down,
Yeah.
easy for me to say, the
Yeah.
dialogue had been toned down a little bit, uh, it wouldn't have taken me out of it so much. But again, it just felt so forced that, like, oh, look how edgy we are. We can curse. Look how edgy we are. We're mentioning these sexual acts that most people don't know what you like. They're going to have to go to Urban Dictionary to find out what this means. Tone that down, and I think you have a much better film. I think it just tried too hard to be edgy with the dialogue, and that kind of just took me out of it, because then it's like you're not watching real people. You're watching a scripted movie of somebody who just wants to be edgy. And
Yeah,
so yeah,
you have to
uh,
be very careful about that. I mean, I totally understand that.
yeah. So that just it's kind of like watching pro wrestling. To bring it back to the first movie, it's just it's over the top, and it's scripted. You just know that wrestling is fake. Real people don't talk like this, and it's kind of that's like this movie. Like, real people don't talk like that. And in the other films, you have a little bit more of that reality, that this is how people would react to these situations. Um, Even in Santa's sleigh, I mean, Santa himself is over the top and making the quips like Freddy Krueger, but like you said, like Robert Culp's character, he's very just real and down. He's a loving grandfather. He's
Yeah,
the main character kid, like he's just a loving grandson who just
yeah.
he wants the girl, and he wants to please his grandfather. And
And she's
um
very nice. I mean, the main cast is very nice.
Yeah,
in
and I mean,
Santa's sleigh.
the girl teases him, he teases the girl. Like it's very natural. It just comes across as like, yes, this is
Yeah.
what an awkward 17-year-old boy is supposed to act like.
Right.
Whereas this film, it was just like, okay, you're going a little too far with this, and it just becomes like cartoonish. Um, so yeah, but a lot of style. And again, I think the filmmaker would benefit from some editing and some more experience, and tone down the edginess that you're trying to throw in there, and just focus on telling the story.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
I find with the two of us, we have more in common and we agree about more things than we disagree.
Oh
I think
yeah,
that's been
definitely.
true for 40 years.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And doesn't change our opinions of one another. I mean, we just,
Yeah, no.
we overlap on most things. We like the same stuff. We just like the same stuff. And every now and then I like something that you're just like, yeah, go enjoy that. It's not for me.
Yeah,
And I
right.
do the same with you. I'm just like, yeah, if you're into that, go for it. It's not
Sure.
not my jam.
And that's all
But
right.
it is all right. Yes. But we
Yep.
had fun watching these films and
Yeah,
reviewing
I
them.
definitely did.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, me too. Like I said, they were all entertaining. That's really what they just need to be at the end of the day. But
Yeah.
yeah, just be forewarned going in what you're getting into.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's super, super important
Yeah,
to understand what you're getting yourself into because
definitely.
especially with the last one,
Oh
with
yeah.
Christmas, Blake Christmas, it's a lot of things. So you do
One
have to
one
be
other thing I
careful.
did want to mention about this last movie is that yeah, the kills are brutal, and there is one scene in particular that might be disturbing for people because it involves a child.
That was shocking to me.
So I do want to mention that.
Agreed.
Just it's not a spoiler. I mean, it happens like midway through the movie, but if that's something that's going to trigger you, and we had a
Agreed.
movie last year where there was like I think a dog that was getting attacked, and we kind of did that as well, like a little
Yeah.
warning that like if that bothers you,
What was that
uh,
film?
that was the Santa Claus guy from the toy factory,
Oh,
and
oh
yeah,
God. Oh my God. Oh yeah, no. That was Deadly Games, the French
Deadly
film.
Games. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this one did have a shocking, because again, you see these things in movies, and you're like, oh, he's gonna walk away, he's gonna let the kid live, or the kid's gonna run, and no,
Which happens sometimes. And
yeah.
and
Um, but a lot of these, and again, like most of these, you watch Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, these are all quote unquote kids, who are played by 30-year-old Johnny Depp and 31-year-old Heather Langenkamp, and it's like,
right.
yeah, they're playing 15-year-olds, but to actually see a child,
Yeah.
and it's not gruesome, but it happens, and you're just like, ooh, that was a bold choice. So uh
Honestly, I thought that it might be somehow related to Assault on Precinct 13, the John
mhm,
Carpenter film,
mm,
where I wouldn't say that something similar happens, but there something a child is killed, and at the time it was really controversial.
mhm,
And there's a whole little segment when Tori is in the police precinct. So it's like, okay, I don't know that they're referencing John Carpenter's film, but I thought they might be.
mhm,
And that's part of what they were. It's like, all right, how do we make this even more intense, even more
right,
disturbing?
right,
And I think that's what they might have been going for, and they certainly accomplished it,
yeah.
which I don't think is necessarily a good thing.
Your mileage may vary. Yeah, depends on.
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the person.
Right, right. But yeah, I just don't want to throw that in there because if that
Yeah,
does
take
bother
it.
you,
Yeah.
I forgot about that, but it was in my notes that like, yeah, this is uh not an implied sort of thing off screen.
No.
It happens. So
Yeah. Thank you for
uh
mentioning that.
yeah, yeah,
I
no
wanted to
problem.
mention it too, and I completely forgot.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, so there's our movies for this year. Anything else you wanted to say about these?
No, just these are the films um that we reviewed this year.
Yes,
That's what they are.
that's they are.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, brother. Well, thank you once again. And this was fun, as it always is.
Yeah, thank you for having me on once again, and it
Yeah, of
was fun.
course, of course. And we will do it again at some point in the future.
Cool.
All right, brother. Well, have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year,
Thank you. Merry
and
Christmas, Happy New Year to you too.
yeah, and we will talk soon.
Okay, take
All
care.
right, brother. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. I want to thank my buddy John for once again coming on and doing this Christmas special, Christmas horror movies. We love doing these episodes for you, and we love just reviewing them. This is the first time we hadn't seen these in advance. We didn't grow up with these. These are like new to us. We watched them like within the past few days. So very cool. Check these movies out. I will link to them all down below so you guys can check them out as well. And I'm going to wrap it up there for this week, everybody. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Hope you all have a wonderful new year. I'll see you before then, though. Hopefully, if I don't get sick, as I mentioned earlier, because Christmas comes and that's usually when I go downhill. I don't know why. It's like something in my body that just says, oh, Christmas is over. Now you can get deathly ill for the next 4 weeks. So hopefully, I don't lose my voice. Hopefully, I see you guys uh, this Friday, the 26th. We're going to do some Bigfoot stories around Christmas. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, happy Kwanzaa. Be safe, be merry, and until next time, everybody, question everything, rock and roll.